Good morning, students, and welcome back to my grammar class today. This is your Shanghita ma'am over here, and today we'll again be discussing about active and passive voice in interrogative sentences. So, in the previous lesson, we have already discussed about interrogative sentences, what are the rules to change the active voices from passive voice in interrogative sentence. Today we will discuss more about it. In the simple present tense, how will you change the active voice from passive voice? If do or does is written in active voice, then in place of do or does, you have to write am, is, are. Then the subject, then the third form of the main verb, then comes the object. Like an example is given over here. Do you eat meat? So do, I told you in place of do you have to write is or am or are according to the subject. So the subject is meat, so you have to write is. After that, then comes the subject. Okay, after is the subject meat, then the third form over here is eat. Its third form is eat, ate, eaten. So eaten. After that by, then comes the subject, that becomes object. Okay, so the answer is meat eaten by you? Question mark. Do not forget to give the question mark at the end. Next, number 2. Does she pluck flowers? So does, that means whenever do or does will be there, then you have to write am, is, or are according to the subject. So here what is the subject? Subject is she and the object is flowers. So object will become subject and the subject will become object. So in place of does, we have written over here are. Why are? Because flowers, it is the object, it has come in the place of subject, so that is why flowers. Are flowers. Flowers, these are plural in number. The subject is plural in number, so you cannot write is, you cannot write am, so you have to write are. So are flowers, then the present form of the main verb will turn into the past participle form of the main verb, plucked by her, she will become her. So the answer will be, does she pluck flowers? Are flowers plucked by her? Okay. In simple present tense, if the sentences are written in WH word, that means when, why, how, where, who, then how will you write the sentences? Let me give you an example. When do you eat your breakfast? So it will be your. So when do you eat your breakfast? When is your breakfast eaten by you? So when will remain the same. I have told you in my previous video as well. Whenever you will start with WH word, most of the time the WH word will remain the same most of the time. Okay, students. So when, after that do becomes is, after that your breakfast. So the subject over here is not your. Ma'am, it is your written. How why you are not writing are? You have told that before you we have to always write are. So why you are not writing over here are? In place of are you have written over here is. Because student, the subject is not your. The subject is your breakfast. That is the subject. So before your breakfast is. So when is your breakfast eaten by you? That is the question. Next, why does he tell lies? Okay, why does he tell lies? So why will remain why. After that does, in place of does it will become are. Why are? Because lies. Okay, why are lies then the main verb PP form told by him, question mark. So why are lies told by him? This is the answer. Okay, next, how do you prepare tea? How is tea prepared by you? Next, where does she keep her money? Where is, after that, her money, then keep will become kept by her, question mark. Where is her money kept by her? Okay, let me give you some more examples from your book, from your grammar book. So what do you want? Let me give you this example. Who teaches you English? So the question starts with who. So who will become by whom. Okay. After that, it is written in simple present tense. So that is why am, is or are you have to write. So are. Because you it is written. Subject is you. So that is why are. By whom are you taught? Teach will become taught, third person. Third form, past participle form of the main verb, that means third form. By whom are you taught English, question mark. Next, what do you want? What is wanted by you? Does the grocer sell sugar? So is, does will become is, then sugar. Is sugar sold by the grocer, question mark. Next, do children love animals? So do will become am, is or are. So animals, it is the object which will become subject. So obviously you understood, before animals are you have to write. After that the main verb loved by children, subject will become object. So do children love animals? Are children loved? Are animals loved by children? Okay. Now let us move to present continuous tense in interrogative sentences. Are the masons building a house? So how will you understand it is present continuous tense? Because the auxiliary verb, after that main verb, then the ing is there. So that is why it is present continuous tense. So in present continuous tense, I told you many times, students, I am repeating myself again and again, that in present continuous tense and in past continuous tense, you have to use being, being. So here also we'll be using being. Okay. So is a house being built by the masons? So is, are will become is. Why is? Why ma'am it has become is? Because a house is there. Before a house you cannot write are. So of course that is why is. Is a house. After that being. Because ing is there. So that is why being. After that the pp form of the main verb built by the masons, question mark. Okay. Next, who is waiting for you? Who will always become, most of the time, or you can say always become by whom. So by whom are you being waited for? Okay. By whom are you being waited for? See here no object is there. So that is why we have not mentioned over here anything at the end. Okay. So by whom are you being waited for? Question mark. Next, whom are you waiting for? Similarly, in the passive it will become whom will become who. Who is being waited for? By you. Who is become, who is being who, because whom will turn to who. After that is, after that being, then the third form of the main verb, then waited for, then by you, question mark. Next, why is he not learning his lessons? Why are his lessons not being learnt by him? Question mark. Next, whose father is helping you? By whose father are you being helped? So father here will become, at first you will write, after that are, after that you, being helped. Okay. Let me give you some of the examples from your book. Is he reading a book? Is a book being read by him? Are they plucking some flowers? Are some flowers being plucked by them? Why are you wasting your time? Why is your time being wasted by you? Next, who is laughing at the beggar? So who will become by whom? After that is, then the beggar being laughed at. By whom is the beggar being laughed at? Now let us move to present perfect tense. In present perfect tense, has or have we use. After that we have to use been. Okay. So, have you kept the secret? Has the secret been kept by you? Who has done this? Who will become by whom? Has, after that has the auxiliary verb. Then these, because it is the object which will become subject over here. So by whom has these been done? Question mark. Next, have you told a lie? Why has a lie been told by you? Who has torn my book? By whom has my book been torn? Question mark. Have you written the letter? Has the letter been written by you? Has the policeman caught the thief? In passive voice, has the thief been caught by the policeman? Next, has the postal department released a new stamp? So new stamp is the object. So has at first, then the new stamp, subject will become object, object will become subject. So a new stamp, after that been, then the PP form of the main verb released, after that by, then the subject, by the postal department, question mark at the end. Let us move to your book. In your book it is given, have you ever seen a lion? Has a lion ever been seen by you? Has Nitesh written this letter? Has this letter been written by Nitesh? Why has Mukesh not finished his work? Why has his work not been finished? Wherever there will be not, okay, only before been you can add not. Okay, so why has this work not been finished by Mukesh? Now let me discuss again about the simple past tense in interrogative sentence. In simple past tense, how will you write? Did he break the window? In place of did, in place of was or were, in place of did you have to write was or were always. Okay, students? So that is why here did he break the window? Was the window broken by him? Here no need to write been, no need to write be. Okay, nothing you have to write. Only was or were according to the subject. Next, where could you find such fine art? Where could such fine art be found? Why over here be? Because could is there. Okay, should, could, would. In the previous video I have mentioned to you that wherever there will be could, should, would, can, may, might, this type of the questions will be there with the modal auxiliaries, then you have to add be. Okay. Next, why did you abuse your servant? Why was your servant abused by you? Question mark. Did anyone steal your purse? Was your purse stolen by anyone? Did anyone hurt your feelings? Were your feelings? Why were? Here it will become where. Why? Because your feelings plural number. So that is why where. Were your feelings? After that hurt, third person, the third form of the main verb, hurt by anyone? Question mark. Did Alice invite you? Were you invited by Alice? Next, who killed the snake? Who will become by whom? I told you. So by whom was the snake killed? Question mark. Did he punish you? Why were you punished by him? Why did he punish you? The question is. In the passive voice, why, after that where, then comes you, because it is the object, will become subject. So were you punished by him? Next, whom did you laugh at? Who was laughed at by you? Let's move to simple past tense in your book, in your grammar book. Did he give you anything? Was anything given to you by him? Who lent you this book? By whom were you lent this book? Which movie did you see last night? Which movie was seen by you last night? Question mark. Which will remain which. After that, which movie will remain the same. After that, was, did will become was. After that, the PP form of the main verb, see, will become seen. Then by. Then the subject will become object, you. Then the phrase. Which movie was seen by you last night? Question mark. Now move to past continuous tense in interrogative sentences. Why were you cheating me? So how will you understand? This is past continuous tense. There will be was or were. After that, verb plus ing. Verb plus ing is there. So that is why it is in past continuous tense. Why were you cheating me? Why was I being cheated by you? Question mark. Okay. Was or were will remain the same according to the subject. Before I, you have to use was. You cannot use were. So why was I being cheated? Because ing is there, so that is why being cheated by you? Question mark. Next, which book were you reading? Which book was being read by you? Question mark. Why was she beating the child? Why was the child being beaten? Beating will become beaten by her. Remember, student, you cannot write ing form. You have to write the third form of the main verb. That means the past participle form, as I have told you many a time. Last one. For what were you making such a noise? For what was such a noise being made by you? For what will remain the same. After that, was, because such a noise is a subject, a noise singular, so that is why before it you have to write was, then being, then made, then by you. Now let's read from your book past continuous tense. Were the artists rehearsing the play? Was the play being rehearsed by the artists? Were they learning their lesson? Was their lesson being learnt by them? What was Ashok doing? What was being done by Ashok? Who was distributing sweets among the children? Who will become by whom? Where, because sweets are plural in number. So that is why by whom were sweets being distributed among the children? Question mark. Now let us move to past perfect tense. In past perfect tense, it's very easy. Only had, after that been. Okay. So had she invited them? Had they been invited by her? Question mark. Had she prepared dinner? Had dinner been prepared by her? Question mark. Had he given a lecture? Had a lecture been given by him? Let us move to your book in active voice, active to passive voice in past perfect tense. Who had invited you to the feast? By whom had you been invited to the feast? By whom had you been invited? Okay. Next, had the thieves stolen anything? So had, after that anything, then been, then stolen by the thieves. So had anything been stolen by the thieves? Question mark. Now let us move towards future tense. In future tense, in simple future tense, how will you write? Only after shall or will you have to add be, as I have told you in case of the assertive sentences as well. Same thing. Will you help him? Will he be helped by you? So shall or will at first, then him will become he, then be, then help will become the third person, the third form. Okay, so the third form is helped. Will he be helped? After that by, then comes you. So will he be helped by you? Next, will you not help me? So the answer is, in passive voice, shall I not be helped by you? Before I, most of the time we conventionally use shall, so that is why shall I, after that not, then be helped by you. Next, will they accept our invitation? So will our invitation be accepted by them? So let us move towards your book in simple future tense interrogative sentences. Will he not mend his ways? Will his ways not be mended by him? Which book will you read tomorrow? Which book will be read by you tomorrow? I hope this you have understood now. Okay, who will answer this question? By whom? Who will become by whom? After that shall or will. After that this question, because it was the object, it will turn into subject. By whom will this question be answered? Okay. Let us move towards future perfect tense. In future perfect tense, we have to use shall or will, after that have been. Okay, so will she have cooked the food? So only been, the word been should be used, and subject will become object and object will become subject. So will the food have been cooked by her? Question mark. Then will they have received our letter? So will our letter have been received by them? Next, will they have caught the train? Will the train, will, after that the train, then the verb have been caught by them? Question mark. Next, who will have opposed you? Who will become by him, by whom? So by whom will you, by whom will you have been opposed? So students, please note over here that active sentences in future continuous tense and in future perfect continuous tense cannot be changed into the passive voice. So in future perfect tense, how will you write? In your book, it is given, an example is given. Will he have written a letter? Will, after that subject, the object will become subject, a letter. After that the verb have, then you have to write been because it is future perfect tense. So will a letter have been, then written, the PP form of the main verb, written by him? Question mark. Do not forget to give the question mark at the end. So I hope, students, that the active passive voice is now quite clear to all of you. Thank you, students.